In this video, we're going to be covering the security and permissions. As we know that when it comes to the databases, the data security plays a crucial role in safeguarding the sensitive information and maintaining trust. So we're going to be talking about it. Basically, first we're going to start understanding like what are the different threats and how by recognizing the threats you can um, save the data more efficiently. The threats, when it comes to the threats, the first one is the unauthorized access. So unauthorized access refers to individuals attempting to gain entry to your database. It could be malicious intent, could be a hacker, could be insider, and it could be like some accidental exposure. So the other type of threat is the data breaches. So breach is like when you are allowing your the sensitive information to leak out. That's gonna be considered as a data breach. It has, like, you can consider them as types. The cyber attacks. What it means is like hackers, they are trying to infiltrate your system and trying to steal data directly. That's gonna be considered as a cyber attack. Then we have malware. um, Malware act like malware infections. So what that means is, like, if there is a malicious software planted in your on your system and trying to get hold of, like, the data, or basically that system, like the databases, being held as a hostage for ransom, that's going to be considered as malware infection. Then we have the just like the physical or a way to just store lost or stolen devices. So what it means is, like, if you have lost a laptop, smartphone, or external drives, there is a possibility, and you need to consider that too. Okay, the third is gonna be the third, like the third threat would be the data manipulation. Okay, so data manipulation involves unauthorized changes or deletions of the data. Uh, Basically, it's going to compromise the integrity and accuracy of the data. So, uh, in this category, we have malicious actors. Basically, intentional, and it's like someone intentionally trying to modify data to disrupt the operation, may cause some financial harm, something like that. Then we have accidental errors. Again, these are not like intentional, but like human mistakes during data entry, updates, or even deletions. It could lead to some inaccurate information. Then we have system errors. Okay, so this could be like a software bug or a hardware failure, corrupting the data and causing inconsistencies in the data. The fourth threat is the DOS attacks, also known as denial of service attacks. So basically, um, these attacks, they aim to render your database unavailable to authorized users. So basically it can be done multiple ways. The very common one is the flooding technique, like flooding the system with requests, meaning overwhelming the system with excessive traffic, making it unresponsive. Then we have, um, if there is a vulnerability, so you are trying to exploit it. So exploiting the vulnerabilities, meaning that attacking specific weakness in your system to crash or disable it. That's gonna be uh, another DOS attack. And then if you have an infrastructure, and like you're gonna be having an infrastructure, so if another way to have this DOS attack, someone can target the critical infrastructure. Okay, what it means is like it's gonna disrupt the power supplies or internet connectivity, or just like trying to rip apart the whole infrastructure, um, and that is definitely going to be considered a DOS attack. Okay, now we wanted to talk about so how exactly you're gonna be, like, these are the threats. So how can you have, like, what are the defense, what should be the defense mechanism, and how should you make your database more secure. So number one is fortifying credentials. Okay, so in this one, when it comes to the credentials, just remember you need to have strong passwords, right? You need to have like highly recommended that you should have a multi-factor authentication. So I'm gonna just write it down. Strong password should have MFA, known as multi-factor authentication. It could be like an app or an authenticator app, could be fingerprint scan, stuff like that. And then another thing in terms of when it comes to the fortifying credentials is like there is a concept of least privilege. What it means is like assign users the minimum level of permissions they need to perform their tasks. So although they have the strong password, they have the MFA, but the user should have only those privileges what they are supposed to do. Okay, the second one is encrypting your data. Okay, so whatever data, so you can categorize, when it comes to the encrypting the data, you can categorize like there are two types of data basically. One is the data at rest, and then there is a data which is in transit. Okay, so the you need to encrypt the data which is stored, which is at rest in your database, uh, to render it unreadable, even if, okay, even if accessed by an unauthorized user. It should like be encrypted in a way, and we're talking about sensitive data, right? Okay, the the other one is the data in transit, right? So we need to encrypt the data transmission between your databases and the applications, and like the other, if it is going outside of the system, it needs to be encrypted before going to the other system, basically to prevent the interception during the network communication. And the third best practice to deal with these threats is going to be minimizing the data exposure. Minimizing data exposure. So, uh, like along the same lines, collect only what you need. So you should avoid collecting and storing unnecessary information, uh, unnecessary personal information or sensitive data, right? Then we have, so I'm gonna write it down. So collect only what you need. Then we have data masking. What data masking is like, uh, think of a situation where you are showing you have to show the credit card information or the social security information. So you're gonna mask that information when displaying or sharing it with the authorized users. So that is an important one. And then data and anomalization. Sorry. Data anonymization. What it means is like for certain use cases, uh, you should consider anonymizing data by removing the personal identifiable information before like you use it for analysis or other purposes. So basically you anonymize the data so that like if you are just running some kind of reports or doing some data analysis, you should remove or mask the personal information. Then we have maintaining system integrity. So the fourth best practice is like, uh, just like the you need to maintain the system integrity, and that could involve backups. So implement a robust backup strategy to create the regular backups of your database. And another one is going to be the uh, vulnerability management. Um Again, you should patch your software vulnerabilities, and you should update the security configurations on your database server, stuff like that. Then also system monitoring. Like you should monitor your database actively for suspicious login attempts, unusual queries, and other like potential security incidents. And the last one, just to complete the list, is gonna be the like a, you need to build a culture of security. What it means like you need to educate your user, so that would be the user education, meaning that you should train the users on cybersecurity best practices, like creating strong passwords, being cautious about phishing attempts, those kind of things. Then you have some security policies. Security policies like you should establish clear security policies that define acceptable data handling practices, access controls, and incident response procedures. And then you should have reviews. So you should regularly review and update your security measures to adapt to evolving threats. Okay, one last thing I wanted to cover here is like In terms of there are core principles when it comes to MySQL. We're going to be looking into what the users are and what are the different roles. So the users, they represent the individual accounts with unique identifiers and credentials. The roles, uh, the roles, they group users with similar access needs and define permissions they share. And again, if you're wondering what the permissions are, permissions specify the operations like if a user can do a select, insert, update, or delete. Uh, like what kind of like specific commands or operations they can do on specific data objects. Okay, so as we did talk about the principle of least privilege, it actually grants users the minimum permission necessary for their task, minimizing the potential damage. And there's a concept of granting access. So roles are assigned to users, effectively controlling their access level and defining what they can do within the database. Just remember in MySQL, the basically it employs the users, privileges, and the grant statements to control access. Okay, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.